So I want to talk today about your default conflict style and how to knock that off so that you get what you really want. And I've done some previous webinars on negotiation skills, which I feel like are really important. And then the circle of health and the three types of boundaries, which are like some foundational skills. And you can find those on my YouTube channel. And this one will get posted there too. And then next month, I'm going to be talking about feedback. A lot of times we don't give our people in our life very much feedback, and we develop these dynamics and patterns that we hate just because we were trying to keep the peace. And so the next one is about stop holding your tongue and give people feedback so that you have like inner and outer peace and not pick a fight. So I always start with what I want the key takeaway to be. And in this one, I want you to remember your actual goal, the problem you're trying to solve, so that you can choose an effective strategy and then evaluate if your strategy is working. When we get caught up in a lot of conversations, we go into our default conflict style and it is not getting us what we want. And so if you can keep top of mind, I want to feel more connected to my partner, or I want to make this decision as a team, you can stop and evaluate in the conversation. Okay, wait, what am I trying to accomplish here? And a lot of times we use that acronym, WAIT. Why am I talking? And so before you open your mouth, is what I'm about to say helping me with my goals? So this isn't just about like being kinder to your partner. That's a side effect that I care about, but I care more about you having a productive conversation and getting what you want. So each of us has a default losing strategy, and sometimes we have more than one, but in your current relationship, you have a dynamic where there's a knee-jerk reaction when your partner says something that brings up past fights, other arguments you've had. And so mine for a really long time was being right. I'm just going to argue my way till we're on the same page, and then we're going to be able to connect with each other and resolve this conversation. And it doesn't work. And so that's where that like pause comes in. Like, is me clarifying my point? Is me clarifying the facts helping right now? And it's not. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to stop trying to be right. Another one that a lot of people do is withdrawal. It feels really unsafe in this conversation. They may be very conflict avoidant. And so they just kind of shut down. And you can withdraw without leaving the room. You just kind of back off and shut down a little bit, put your wall up a little bit more. Retaliation is when you want them to hurt the same way you hurt. And again, so that you can be on the same page. So all of these have the goal of connection, but they do not work. Unbridled self-expression is when you share everything on your heart and mind, hoping that that will help them see and understand you. And then controlling is when you're trying to manage the other person. And so sometimes this can actually sound really nice. Can be very placating. It can be very problem solving for the other person. Like, if I can just solve all of your problems, then you'll be happy. And so it's well-meaning, but the actual root thing is that you're controlling. A lot of people martyr themselves like, okay, I'll just do whatever you want. And that's actually a form of control of the other person. So I don't know if you recognize yourself in one of these five as like your default response when you get really upset, but knowing what that is helps you figure out what are the steps before that I can catch myself before I'm into that bad habit, if you can't catch yourself once you're in it. So sometimes we say that the best thing to do is just close your mouth so demons don't come out. If I don't feel like I can stop doing a losing strategy, the best thing I can do is stop doing anything. And then we want to switch to a winning strategy. So giving feedback. Hey, when you said this, I had a hard time feeling supported. So in the future, could you? That's a request that allows your partner to win instead of you're a jerk. They can't win that. Making requests ahead of time, a lot of times we avoid doing that because it feels very vulnerable. And it's really funny because we have such an inbuilt defense against vulnerability. So like the other night, it was time for my husband and I to have grown-up time with no children interrupting. And he was distracted. Instead of just asking him like, hey, could you put that away and pay attention to me? I just kind of got annoyed, and I had to catch myself and be like, this is a losing strategy. And instead, I'm going to make a request. Negotiation, if I want one thing and my partner wants another thing, that's the beginning of a conversation. But for a lot of couples, that's the end of a conversation because now someone's mad because someone's going to lose and someone's going to win. Instead of, I try to teach couples that the goal is always, there is a way for both of us to win, and we're going to find it together as a team. Generosity, I put on here, and it's a bigger topic to talk about, but the most generous interpretation of your partner is the one that gives you the most peace. So if your partner says, well, that's a dumb idea, a lot of us hear, you're dumb and your idea is dumb. And instead it's like, oh, I wonder what their concern is and what they're trying to protect, that's a more generous interpretation of that that will lead to a more productive conversation than getting my feelings hurt and storming out of the room or arguing back. And then cherishing, finding those opportunities throughout each day and each week to show our partner that we care about them and we like them as people. There is never too much of that. You can never cherish your partner too much. It fills your heart up and it fills their heart up, and it makes it easier to do these other things like feedback, request, negotiation, and generosity. So you find your default strategy and you remember what you really want in the big picture. So long term, what do I want? I want a happy marriage. I want to make decisions together as a team, and I want to feel loved and respected by my partner. Is what I'm doing right now getting me that? No, so I have to do something new. Well, doing something new is inherently uncomfortable. Our brains, one, want to save energy and want to protect our identity and ourselves and want to be right. A lot of times, our brain would rather be right than happy. So we have to decide that we are willing to be very uncomfortable and choose a different path in the worst possible time when we're really upset or when our partner says something rude or inconsiderate. We have to make the decision of like, I'm going to be really uncomfortable right now and choose vulnerability anyway for myself. And then that brings us to respect and love for all parts involved. So some people swing from being very accommodating to screw you. We don't want to be swinging back and forth between I love and respect me and I love and respect my partner. We want everybody to be loved and respected at the same time, and all the parts of us and all the parts of them to be respected and loved at the same time. And what I'm talking about is your wise adult is the one who shows up when you're like, you're warm, you're relaxed, you have a big open heart, you can be generous with your partner, you can keep that big picture in mind. We shift into our adaptive child, what got us safely through childhood, when we are stressed and we feel really hot or really cold. We feel very rigid. We feel very black and white, and we get really focused on fine details. That adaptive child still needs love and respect. They do not need to participate in the conversation, but their needs need to be spoken up for. And that's another thing that enables us to show up as a wise adult, is to not try to tell the adaptive child to go away or knock it off. It's just like, no, you're very important and you don't get to talk to my partner because you're going to make a mess of things. Let me handle it. I'm the grown up. That is the best strategy for responding in the way you want to respond. Because otherwise, if you try to just get rid of that adaptive child, like, why am I acting like that? And you judge yourself, you're getting in a tug of war with yourself. And if you are arguing with yourself, you're guaranteed to lose because it's you. So when we catch ourselves either speaking from the adaptive child or trying to get rid of it, again, just stop. I just have to keep my mouth shut until I can speak for the adaptive child. Love everybody in the situation. So how do we do this? We start small. There's a lot of times small annoyances that we have throughout the week or throughout the month with our partners or our friends or our parents. I believe you have issues with your mom or your dad. You recognize those and you recognize your back starting to come up, whatever the way that looks for you. And you recognize where that tension is in your body and you relax it. If you can relax your body, your actual muscles in the face of those small stressors, you're slowly teaching your body that you're not in danger and that you can respond like a grown-up because there's no actual fight. And then you have to celebrate the small wins. So if you say two stupid things, but then you hold your tongue, that's a win. And if you celebrate that, it reinforces it in your brain of, I am the type of person who can hold my tongue. I am the type of person who can choose love and respect for everyone at the same time. And those identity statements are really, really powerful to your subconscious. And your subconscious is actually what's running the show 99% of the time. So every time you celebrate a small win, even if it's not the type of win you wanted, you're teaching yourself how to do this skill when things get harder. So that is the webinar for today. And like I said, next month, we're going to talk about how to speak up without starting a fight and giving effective feedback throughout the day, throughout the week, so that you don't hold it all in and then explode like a volcano. And other ways I work with people is introductory session is free. Then you can sign up to work with me longer if you like that introductory session, individuals and couples. And I have a small group program that as soon as I have enough people on the waiting list, we will schedule and get started. So thank you.